time because I love what they did with smart home. I didn't know they were going to do that. I really didn't think they were going to do smart home. I've been hearing things or some theories that there could be a smart home, or I know it's a fact or a comic component that I found on YouTube. Like, wouldn't it be great if there was a smart home? Like if they did a smart home, like they did the comics, which is the Bruce Banner inside the giant home. And when I saw smart home, I was like, no way. That was really cool. I was really happy about that. Smart home was good. I mean, is there any positive things you can say about the film so far?
Like I said, just any scene with Tessa Thompson, Valkyrie, and of course Loki. You know, he's always fun. He's like one of my favorite Marvel characters to watch in the MCU. But other than that,
Loki is alive.
Other than that, I want to talk. Well, we can get into the negatives. Plus, I also have some questions about where they go from here as they go into Phase 5. Because remember, a couple months ago, it finally made it official that Disney bought Fox Studios. So I'm curious to see how they add like X-Men and Deadpool. Because honestly, I feel like Deadpool. I'll say that later. But yeah, I'm interested in how they're adding like X-Men and Deadpool and stuff like that. But as far as the negatives, I just thought it was I thought the movie lagged. You know, it got boring after a while for me.
I knew it.
I
knew it. I knew that was it. I mean, I knew that was one of your negatives. The movie was long.
Yeah.
Right. It's a 3-hour film.
Well, I don't mind the time, but like if you're gonna do it 3 hours, I'd rather you do it like Chris Nolan did with The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight was 3 hours, but Chris Nolan did a good job of keeping your attention from the start of the movie all the way to the end when Two-Face died. And this movie to me,
funny how you mentioned that. That is funny. Yes, you know what? That is funny. Funny that you mentioned it because I also thought if you're gonna do a 3-hour film. Dark Knight did it. Christopher Nolan did it with The Dark Knight. He did it with The Dark Knight Rises. Although there was also some controversy with The Dark Knight Rises towards the end. It still got your attention. There have been times when I kind of was like, okay, so let's move it on. What's going on? Are we still breathing, or what's Man's gonna do, and what's going on? It kind of felt long. And you can jump in and that like that.
Yeah, there were certain parts where it's like, just like why. It felt like Dragon Ball Z is like, why we having these filler episodes? Just get to the fighting already. And that's how I felt with like, this movie was kind of like there were just parts of the movie was just like filler, like it really didn't serve any purpose. It was like it was just trying to kill time.
I got you. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about the whole killing time thing. You kind of have to watch the movie again. I kind of want to watch the movie again just to understand more why they're trying to put in this filler. Because remember, there's a lot of characters that we have to explain what happened after the snap. They're going through like therapy. Even Captain America is going through the whole group session thing.
Yeah, but what I didn't understand is that 5 years have gone.
PTSD, right?
Yeah, but 5 years have gone by since the Infinity War. But they never showed how it affected society as a whole. It just showed how
You mean between? So they skipped all years. Right?
Yeah, but they just focused on the Avengers and how they were like you said, PTSD to me more like bitching about their friends dying, but it's like it's been 5 years. Just move on.
Bitches? Who's bitches? This is Captain America. The great American with the American ass. That's all about. Alright? That's the American ass. I mean, no, look, they're going through therapy right now, bro. I mean, you gotta understand, it's 5 years after this death. They've been going through it after this death.
Okay, but what about? But I'm saying no, like they didn't talk about how it affected the rest of society though. Like if society can move on and be happy after 5 years, why can't these people can't? Like why did they have to go back in time and try to fix some shit that they fucked up in the first place?
Because of Ant-Man. Ant-Man
Yeah,
explains
Ant Man, just because he wanted to get no, because he wanted to
Ant-Man's
save.
the reason why,
Yeah, he wanted to
like,
save
they have
Wasp,
no
but
hope.
it's like
There's no hope. There's really no hope
uh,
until
okay,
that
but
rat accidentally clicked on the, like, some button right at the back, where Ant-Man was trapped inside what do you call it? What's that thing that Ant-Man goes to shrink? What do they call it?
I forgot.
Remember?
I don't know.
Man, we gotta look it up. What is it again? Blade.
The quantum realm.
Yeah, the quantum realm. So he shrinks all the way to the quantum realm, and so time and space does not exist. It's like Inception, where when you fall asleep in your sleep, and then you're asleep again. First you're asleep, and then you're asleep in the second dream. Like time and space is slower depending how deep down the rabbit hole you are. So with him, he even mentioned, how long has it been? 5 years?
Yeah.
I've been gone for like 5 hours or an hour, 2 hours. And he didn't age. So he's, because of him, which is pretty much one big lucky coincidence that he popped up, he gave the characters hope. Because you have to remember, Black Widow was kind of like she was like the general Fury, right? Wasn't she kind of like taking over Fury? This Nick Fury just got into it as well. She kind of like called in all the different departments: Captain America, Captain Marvel. What's that girl's name from? Who's one of the Black Panther's knight or guardian? What's her character name again?
I'm not just the bald headed bitch.
Which is anyway, her. So there's different departments, and she's pretty much the next General Fury. She I guess she takes she took the mantle of Fury since Fury's gone, so she became the next.
Her name is Okoye.
Okoye. So she's. Remember that one scene where she checks up on each one of them? You remember that? For the Black Widow?
Well, the Black Widow?
Yeah. Remember when she kind of like checks up on each one of them?
Oh, yeah.
So that just goes to show that Natalia becomes the next Nick Fury. Because after Nick Fury gets busted, she's pretty much the only one, only one who knows me. She's one of the few of Fury's right hand men or women that knows about the establishment more than anybody else. So she becomes the next Nick Fury. But back to does that answer your question as far as like why do they have to go back and fix things? Because Ant-Man's the reason why.
No. I get that. My point is though, like, okay, Tony Stark moved on with his life, had a baby with Pepper. So it's like if he can move on, why can't the rest of them? Like, why go back in time and try to correct shit? It's like, okay, you guys screwed up.
Even Iron Man was like, look, I have a family. You want me to do what? Go back with you and fix it? No, I'm good. We lost.
Well, yeah, they had
We
to talk
lost.
him into it.
Yeah, he said, yeah.
You know,
So
and then Thor became a fat
I mean,
alcoholic.
is that your issue that they have to go back and fix it?
Yeah, I mean, I could understand if it was like, a year later, 2 years later, but 5 years, that's a long time. Like at that point, you just deal with the consequences. At that point, just move on.
Well, there's some characters that can't move on. They feel, Iron Man feels guilty that Spider-Man died. Iron Man feels really guilty.
Oh,
Captain America feels guilty. They all lost people. Everyone lost everybody.
yeah, and so didn't
Falcon's
the
gone.
rest of society, but yet they moved
But,
on.
but Ant-Man, they moved on. They're kind of going through it. It takes a while. When somebody passes away, especially when millions of people start getting vested, it takes a while. It takes a while to move on from that. It's not one of those like, oh my, I have a good friend that just passed away, and then within 1 year, 2 years, you moved on. Like there's no, it's like you've already gotten closure. But because of Ant-Man coming into play, he kind of convinced them um, that there's like a possibility of time travel. Time travel. Because Ant-Man didn't age. Haven't aged like they have. Ant-Man stayed fairly younger, 5 years younger than all the characters. And they feel, okay, if this is a possibility, then we can just go back and fix this. So they practically did a X-Men Days of Future Past on this thing. I don't know if anyone noticed it, but this feels very X-Men Days of Future Past. Sorry. Well, Wolverine had to go back and fix everything. And my issue is with that is when the X-Men Days of Future Past, they needed to do something like that to fix the timeline of the X-Men universe.
Well, yeah, because there's
Start
apocalypse.
fresh, right?
It's basically the whole world was run
Yeah.
by Sentinels because
Well,
the Sentinels were killing even non-humans because they found out that in the future they'll give birth to humans. I mean to mutants.
But also to also fill in all the plot holes and all the unnecessary timelines. What do you call that? Inconsistent timelines that they've been having in the X-Men movie lore, like in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Days of Future Past to fix that timeline until, of course.
Well, to me, what it did, and I think this movie
Rebooted.
does the same. Well, no, I think what it does is that what happened with X-Men, I think this movie is going to do the same things. That it allowed them to reboot it without actually having to reboot it. Because let's be honest.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the original X-Men cast from 2000, they're all in their 50s now, so it's time to get younger, so that now they can reboot it and get younger with this younger cast that they have.
Well,
And I think
of course.
I think for Marvel too, I think for Marvel it does the same thing in the sense that it now allows them to move on to Phase 5 and move on with I guess you could say different characters or different plot lines now.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the difference between this, okay, with X-Men, they needed to reboot that. Bryan Singer did a good job having to reboot not only the characters but the storyline, because he needed to fill in all the inconsistent, like erase all the inconsistent timelines. Because we all know that X-Men has the most inconsistent timeline, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. You saw that, right? Now with the Avengers, you don't need to all the way from Iron Man till now, the Endgame. Even the TV shows, their timeline has always been, for the most part, has been consistent. So rebooting it was like it was unnecessary, but at the same time necessary. I would have to say.